It is a journey to learn how to own your life and life's experiences. And this may be because as children, we didn't feel we were in charge of our lives. We weren't in charge of ourselves or emotions. And we may feel that that was taken away from us. Owning your life, owning yourself is the most powerful thing you can do in this life. To own your life, to own yourself, you may have to do a lot of inner work. Not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you, just go see somebody for 2-3 sessions and you'll be all right. Owning the self means also owning your emotional perceptions and experiences independently, which means you get to take responsibility for your feelings as you grow. And you get to eventually forgive, which means you are no longer emotionally attached to certain experiences. When you start the process of having a deeper understanding of life's experiences, especially events that were traumatic, there's a lot of confusion, overlapping emotions, misunderstanding, and self-interpretation. If I'm in a state of fight or flight, whatever is happening is extremely amplified from my senses. This doesn't mean that certain things haven't happened, but the way we interpret, perceive things plays a huge role in the impact that these things have on our life. If we haven't had people around able to have a decent understanding of emotions, it's very likely that we haven't learned how to regulate the self or become emotionally independent. In fact, a lot of family have codependency mechanism. They're all interlaced in unhealthy emotional patterns or drama, bouncing back trauma, responsibilities, and blame. And this goes on for years and lives sometimes. So we need to learn the importance of regulation. If you don't know how to regulate the self, we are not able to remain present, to stay grounded when something uncomfortable occurs. Constantly experiencing an inner turmoil. So the therapeutic or healing journey plays a huge key role into the owning the self process, because it's the only space in which you can explore yourself objectively and you also get feedback. And inner child work plays a huge role in this. I love inner child work. It's one of my favorite work because it's understandable that we often blame our parents for not being regulated enough, for not being present enough, for not being loving or caring enough, for exposing us prematurely to things that perhaps we weren't ready to process emotionally. We just didn't have the tools. And this is because of ignorance of the past, because of generations of people that just didn't know what it meant to be emotionally regulated. The importance of providing a healthy emotional environment for children to grow. They just didn't have the tools. I don't want to justify them. There were different times. There were other needs, different needs. We are in an era of understanding the emotional plane, understanding emotions, not getting rid of emotions. This is not what we want. Not denying emotions, not pretending emotions do not exist, because emotions are an essential element of our lives, relationships, experiences, everything we do, really. So we learn how to move from the lower emotional plane to the higher emotional plane. And as you learn how to swim through these movements, you get to learn, grow, mature, and to own your life, own your experiences, own yourself entirely. You will stop blaming anybody else around you for the way you feel. There will be no need to be a victim. because you understand that sometimes things happen and they out of our control. And you have a choice to hold on to that experience for the rest of your life and use it as a resistance for self-growth, for self-expansion, or you can use emotions as a springboard to better understand life. Thanks for listening to this video. Please share your thoughts and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.